Holy shit, the New York Jets just saved their season in spectacular fashion on Thursday Night Football. Let's talk about it, everybody. Let's roll.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Let's go, baby. I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast, baby. We're here for a post-game show talking all things New York Jets, and it might sound dramatic, it might sound hyperbolic, but the Jets just saved their bleeping season 21-13 over the Houston Texans. Jets improved to 3-6, Texans fall to 6-3. I am shell shocked. I can't believe it. Let's freaking go. Oh my goodness. There's so much to talk about from this game. Let's start it off with this, baby. We are 78 members away from Phil getting his emoji. Let's keep the good times rolling, baby. It is officially November 1st. Welcome to the month of November. Hopefully you guys had a happy Halloween last night, and let's get the memberships flowing, baby. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club down below, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Let's celebrate this friggin' win, and oh my goodness. It was epic, but it wasn't always epic. Malachi Corley had one of the most dumbass plays I've ever seen, and it coulda, woulda, shoulda cost the New York Jets the victory. I'm seeing it in the moment. I'm like, Malachi Corley, number 14. I'm like, finally, he gets his moment in the sun, goes in the end zone, and they're like, whoa, let's take another look. And I'm like, no way. I mean, you just can't make this shit up as a Jets fan. Like, for everything that's gone wrong, from missed field goals to penalties to this to that, the drops, the everything that's happened to the Jets, it's impossible to describe to anyone else. Everything that's gone wrong for the Jets, and for that to happen, and instead of the Jets having a 7-0 lead, instead it's Houston ball, scoreless at the beginning of the second quarter, was demoralizing, deflating, confounding. I mean, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And how reckless, how stupid. Malachi finally gets on the field. Would have been the first touchdown of his rookie season. And to have that kind of mistake, that critical error, I'm just glad we could talk about this in a win. It makes it a lot easier to go, whew, that was a close one, as opposed to this devastating moment as it had been for so many other Jets games this season. I mean, unbelievable. I can't believe Malachi Corley did that. But putting Malachi aside, because we'll get back into that, and I'll also open up the phone lines here in just a few minutes. Garrett Wilson, welcome to Superstardom, buddy. And hey, I guess he's not so bad for a 6-foot guy, huh? The person who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. Garrett Wilson's not 6'4". Come on, man. Garrett Wilson's a freaking superstar, and he just announced himself to the world better than the Odell Beckham Jr. catch. Michael Jordan-esque. I have no idea how the hell he caught that. Last year, week 1, Jets-Bills, when he had that crazy deflecting ball touchdown to himself, I was like, wow, that's the craziest catch I've ever seen. That catch from Garrett Wilson is the craziest catch I've ever seen. Unfriggin' believable. Big Will, a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, says, bet he'll never do that again. I don't know if anyone on the planet will ever do that again. Unbelievable. Garrett Wilson is a superstar, and he just introduced himself to a national audience because a lot of people didn't know that Garrett Wilson is that guy. And everyone found out that Garrett Wilson is, in fact, that guy. And that wasn't the only play he made. He had so many spectacular one-handed plays. And this is what I had been talking about for weeks, people. Big-time players making big-time plays. Garrett Wilson had 2 one-handed crazy-ass touchdowns, 9 catches, 90 yards, 2 tutties on the day. And what about Davante Adams, who makes a couple of plays in the middle of the game? You're like, okay, not bad. He has the one big drop at the end of the first half down the hash. You're like, oh, man, he should have, would have, could have had that. Davante Adams gets a concussion. goes to the locker room, and you're like, boy, what's going to happen now? And Devontae gets back on the field, clears concussion protocol, and has the walk-off touchdown, which completely changed the game. It gave the Jets that necessary lead. Instead of just barely holding on to dear life, hoping the defense gets a stop, we didn't have to worry about any of that nonsense. He ends up taking it to the house on the touchdown. He has 7 catches, 91 yards, and a tutty. His first touchdown, of course, as a member of the New York Jets. I mean, Devontae bleeping Adams. Again, it's just overall, your big-time players making big-time plays. Quinnen Williams, strip sack, Houston Texans in the red zone. Will McDonald recovers the fumble. I mean, everybody was involved with making plays. Jamian Sherwood had 2 sacks. DJ Reed had a sack. Let's see who else had it. Quinnen Williams ended up with a sack and a half, I guess, technically. I don't know how that's possible. Michael Clemens had 2 sacks. Solomon Thomas had a sack. Hassan Reddick had half a sack. We had 8 sacks tonight. Everybody involved making plays. Terrific. Devontae, Garrett Wilson. That was basically the entire offense in terms of receiving, outside of the great Kenny Yeboah play. Welcome back, Kenny Yeboah, the 1 catch for 12 yards. And Aaron Rodgers, who, let's be honest, was god-awful in the first half. Absolutely god-awful. And he was terrible. And missing guys left and right. And we're like, oh, boy, maybe we have an Aaron Rodgers problem here. And he had a terrific second half. 22 of 32, just under a 70% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, 118.1 QBR. This is what the Jets signed up for. There he is. The whoa. Oh, okay, there's the future Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback we're talking about. That's the guy that elevates the offense. Breece Hall, 15 carries, 74 yards, 4.9 per clip. Breece Hall was looking pretty good, running the football. Great average running the gosh darn football. The defense, for large chunks of the game, played elite football. Now, I get it. The run defense was leaky, as it has been the entire time. There's no question about it. Joe Mixon had 100 yards rushing, and they were utilizing him in a lot of different ways. Tank Dell, 8. He had a lot of opportunities. 6 catches, 126 yards. All of that. So they gave up some running yards. There's no question about it. But if you put that aside, if you put that to the that defense played pretty damn good, I'd say. Pretty damn good. We got 200 people right now in the room. Let's continue to rock and roll, baby. We're now going to open up the phone lines here on the show. And guys, the Jets may only be 3-6, but with the win, they now have a 27% chance of making the playoffs. And I'm telling you, there's a chance. They're now back they had been earlier in the year, in second place in the AFC East. They're 10th in the AFC Conference. Again, I think a lot of us may immediately look and say, Patriots game, Broncos game, Vikings game, Bills game. We're going to look at some of these, regardless of what happens down the stretch, go, damn, we coulda, shoulda, woulda, and gone through a lot of those. But the Jets do, in a weird way, still control their own destiny. If the Jets won out, and I'm not saying they're going to, but if they won out, they'd have 11 wins. 11 wins would make the playoffs. 10 wins would make the playoffs. 9 wins, with all your head-to-head tiebreakers, probably not. You're probably going to need 2009 kind of stuff to happen, where you get to 9 and a lot of people fuck up all over the place, and the right people lose, and you have the right crazy combinations that we're rooting for at the ends. Rex Ryan said, was there at the game with the Asmaniacs. Wish you were there, Paul. Would have been cool. I would have loved to be there. So shout out to everybody. I know Devin was there with his family and everybody else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the shit out of that one. And I'll be honest, we're about to open up the phone lines, but I was down in the dumps earlier this week saying the season was over, 5-game losing streak. The Patriots game killed me. But we did a prediction technically earlier this morning / yesterday. And I predicted the Jets to win, and they won. I predicted 26-19. We got 21-13. Probably should have been 28-13, but that's neither here nor there, Malachi Corley. This has a chance to spark this team. This is what this team needed. They needed to see it. And the talent is obviously there. You saw all the stars. Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Hassan Reddick getting some pressures. Got a little reckless there with some of his pass rush lanes and opportunities. But I'm back in, baby. We are all in. Let's make a freaking run. The spark is there. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Let's hear what you guys have to say. There's, again, a lot to unpack with this game, and happy Halloween to all you bastards. You guys can call into the show right here. We've just put up the link. We'll pin that right now. That is the pin message right now on YouTube. If you'd like to call into the show, feel free to do so. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate it. But if you'd like to call into the show, you have to do so on YouTube. And boy, yeah, Hennessy Heisman says Garrett Wilson is him. Damn straight he is. Garrett Wilson is him. Garrett Wilson is him. And yes, we got the Black Jesus, Fountain of Youth, cayenne pepper, and water. Make that combination. Make that combination. 19 New York Jets 69. Oh my God, we haven't even talked about that. Good Lord have mercy. The offensive line musical chairs. John Simpson gets hurt in the game. Jake Hansen is a replacement for AVT, and their other replacement, Xavier Newman was also on IR. So you had Tyron Smith, Max Mitchell, Joe Tippmann, Olu Fashanu, Morgan Moses. You had 4 offensive tackles playing the 5. Max Mitchell, who had been really a career tackle, and even his guard experience was at right guard, not left guard. He was thrown in at left guard. Olu Fashanu, a guy who, again, he had played left tackle his entire life. And then he learned right tackle this year with the Jets, and then playing guard for the first time ever. Unbelievable. Those guys all deserve a round of applause. Now, there was a few times Max got his ass blew up. I saw it on a few run plays where Max got thrown into the backfield like, oh boy, yikes. But I mean, you got to give them all a lot of props for rolling with the punches. And Houston has a really good front. Rolling with the punches and saying, hey, man, we got to make some things happen. All day. And there you have it. So, a huge shout out to all the offensive tackles. Keenan Good says, happy about the win, but it's a very long season, or a lot of season left, excuse me. Time to prepare for the Cardinals. It's not going to be easy, JETS. Yeah, it will not be easy. And it's one win, that's for sure. But it all has to start with one. 1,000%. It has to start with one, and that can hopefully lead to everything else. Because if the Jets would have lost and fallen to 2-7 with the NFL trade deadline days away, I mean, Aaron even indicated it. I was trying to catch up on as much coverage as possible. The only thing I missed, I heard Ulbrich, and I heard some of the Amazon Prime interviews. The only thing I missed is Aaron Rodgers was speaking when we went live with the local media. I missed that presser. I'll have to catch up on that later. But Aaron on the Prime desk said, our season was on the line. We're getting ready to look at off-season plans, like kind of joking that like, hey, man, we were running out of time, basically. And that's for sure. Vern says, hi, Boy Green. Here are your balls after crying all week. I will just say this. I don't apologize for anything. I'm an emotional fan. I claim to be the most optimistic fan on the planet. And people can be wherever they were. I know there were still some believers immediately after. I think we're all allowed to have feelings and emotions. If people want to make fun of me for it, they can. I saw people making fun of me earlier on social media. I don't give a shit. You guys can make fun of me if you want to, but I would just say, you know what? After that Patriots loss, that stung like the Dickens. And to lose 5 in a row, to lose to the New England Patriots, all that sucked. Absolutely sucked. But I still predicted that the Jets would win this morning, technically yesterday morning. So, again, I'll take all the heat for people that want to throw shit at me for saying the season's over. That's absolutely fine. But, yeah, that was a crippling loss to New England. And maybe those will still come back to bite the Jets in the ass. Denver, New England, Minnesota, Buffalo, some of the AFC ones. Maybe that still comes back to bite the Jets in the ass if they end up being, 8-9, 9-8. Maybe those come back to bite us. I hope it does not. I hope the Jets go on this crazy run and it's not necessary. But nah, people can take shots at me. I don't give a shit. I am happy they turned it around. Hennessy Heisman. I've been saying all week, we will win this game and lose to Arizona. We suck with 10 days off. Well, I hope that's not true. They have struggled, but this is a different regime than the regimes of the past. So let's see what happens. To be honest, this will be the first breath the Jets can take in a long time. Ulbrich gets hired as the head coach midweek ahead of Buffalo. Okay, so you have the Week 6 Buffalo game coming off of London. Week 7, which was Monday Night Football. Week 7, short week, Sunday Night Football. Week 8, New England. And then Week 9, that just happened on a short week. So I think they're actually going to enjoy the breath of like, whew, also, like what a crazy turn of events. Excuse me. I think they're absolutely going to be in a much different conversation about that. We will see, though. The proof will be in the pudding. No delay of game calls. Absolutely. Excuse me. That was great to see. Let me see overall penalties. What do we have here? Jets still had a lot. They had 9 for 83. But yeah, we weren't having the operational issues we had in the past, which is incredibly encouraging. Absolutely. We had a lot of other penalties, but that one was good to see. Paul Sasaki Jr. He said it would have been over. Yes, I did for people.
Wow.
Yes, I did say if they lose to New England, it would be over. That would be the final nail for selling it off. If we're going to be specific with quoting me, that is true. I did say that it would be over and that it technically was still alive until that moment. So that is true. But yes, let's do one game at a time and chip away. You can't win 10 in a row, 9 in a row, 8 in a row, 7 in a row, or whatever it is that they will require to do. We'll see how the rest of the AFC shapes up, but you have to just win one. And again, this was a big one against a really good competition. The Texans came in at 6-2, and the Jets have had C.J. Stroud's number since he came into the league, and they proved that. That's for sure. The Smoke says 9-8 all day makes it to the playoffs. I don't think with their tiebreakers it does, but I hope I'm wrong. I think with Pittsburgh, Denver, and I'm going to miss another one in there that I'm not thinking of, but those could come back to haunt the Jets because the first tiebreaker in playoffs is head-to-head. So that one could certainly come back to roost. Again, I hope it doesn't. That certainly could be the case. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got our boy Sonny back on the show. What's up, Sonny? Much different post game this time, my friend.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it was so enjoyable just to watch an exciting Jets game with big explosive plays. Just watching Aaron Rodgers laughing and smiling and, having fun out there. I'm like, okay, this is what I thought.
This is what we signed up for.
Right. This is what we signed up for. This is what I thought an Aaron Rodgers-led team would have looked like. So, obviously, ecstatic about the win. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are, they want to get ahead of themselves, talk about when to count them out. I mean, we don't know about any of that, but we could build off of this win for sure.
Absolutely. And I think that's it for everyone. I think, quite frankly, us fans needed to see it, again, after losing 5 in a row. But more importantly, I think the team needed to see it because talent. Everyone kept talking about talent, but they were finding very creative ways to lose on a week-to-week basis, seemingly a different way every week, which it's demoralizing for us fans. I can only imagine for the players in the locker room. So to actually go, okay, we just did that. It's not against some slapdick team like New England. I would have loved to have that win if we could have, but to do it against a 6-2 Texans team that had some chutzpah, to me, this has all the roots and potential of, again, sparking a run and doing things.
Absolutely.
But again, it's got to be one game at a time.
Absolutely. One game at a time, but this could be the spark. I'll tell you what, they got after the quarterback tonight. Mm-hmm. I think they had 8 sacks on Stroud.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
The first half was miserable, but they got it going in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, Malachi Corley. Oh, Malachi.
Oh, that was terrible. It was so bad that I actually felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, right. Because I just it just the pros and it's the Deshaun Jackson play. He did it. I think he did it twice. I think he did both in the NFL and in college.
Yes.
And it's just there's just no the cool factor. I don't know what other reason that you would even think to just dump the ball behind you plus it's his first touchdown ever. You think you would want to hold on to it more than anything else than ditch it. But again, bonkers. Again, I just feel happy that we could kind of I'm still pissed about it, but I could sort of chuckle about it that we won because if again this was what we're talking about with the loss, Corley's head would be on a pike. So I just unbelievable.
Yeah, he would go back to no man's land if he was the reason they lost tonight.
No doubt. No doubt.
All that being said, when the kicker doinked it off the upright and it fell in anyways, my heart stopped. I was like, "Are we going to lose on a missed extra point?"
That felt sort of poetic, to be honest with you. For one of the extra points to kind of doink in, I'm like, does that
Right.
kind of cure all the football gods? Because like we had a Zerline one earlier this year that went doink, and then we thought it was going to like just kind of sneak in, but it just fell short, so it doinked and missed, and then you're like,
Yeah.
fuck me. And then for it to go doink in, I'm like, okay, the football gods. And the other one, right? So the Texans kick a field goal. It's 14-13. Oh, wait a second. The Jets had an unnecessary roughness on Eric Watts for touching the long snapper. Texans first down. I'm like, you motherfucker. Of course. Yep. Jets defense holds. They doink it off and miss the field goal. And I just tweeted out, and I said it out loud to myself. I was watching the game by myself, but I'm like, the Jets jetting somehow just helped them. I'm like, the football gods. It has to be like another sign of positivity.
I would have bet the house on the Texans scoring 7 there
100%.
when they got the
it
penalty.
Felt like that.
Right, and then it ends up removing the field goal off the board. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Which changes the game, because then at the end of the game, if they would have had the 3, they would have been going for the touchdown and the 2-pointer, which would have put the pressure on, because that's a 1-score game. They could have sent it to overtime or God knows what. So, oh my God, that dramatically changes the game. Absolutely.
Yep, I agree with you there.
Blessed be he. We got to enjoy the shit out of this one. And luckily, because it's this mini bye, we get to savor the shit out of this for the next couple of days. And the team can probably savor it for 24, 36 hours, and they're getting ready for Arizona. But we, the fans, can really just kind of embrace the shit out of this. We only have 3 of them so far this season, so we got to savor them while we can.
Exhale. And Rodgers,
Absolutely.
This little mini bye will provide some of the rest that I think Rodgers really needs at this point.
I think so. So, but man, how exciting! How fucking exciting! Splash plays,
and the schedule
plays,
seems to lighten up going forward.
For sure. Look at the schedule. We only face one more winning team on our schedule. That's Buffalo, and I like how we fare against Buffalo. To be honest, I think this Jets team, when they play Buffalo, again, I don't want to look ahead to anybody, but when they play Buffalo, I think they're going to have a lot of "we should have fucking beat you the first time," and they're going to be playing with that kind of energy heading into that second matchup.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to hold anything back on that second meeting with Buffalo. That's for sure. They're going to try to empty the tank on those guys when they play them again.
So let's start to string some wins together, and let's try to see if we can make this season interesting. That'd be the greatest thing of all time.
Sounds awesome, man. Jets, Jets.
There he is, Sonny, joining us here on the show. Let's give him one, baby. Come on, a big, juicy, fat. Fuck yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, that fucking felt so good. Blessed be he. Again, we're scoreless at halftime. I'm like, fuck me. Oh God, not again. I just, again, no one's here, so I don't know why I do the things I do. But like when halftime like officially happened and the Jets are down 7-0, I went to walk out of the room and I just looked back at the TV. It was just like, motherfucker. And then I kept walking. Like no one heard that, but like I just felt like, you piece of shit. God damn it. Jets, the fuck. Come on, man. For Pete's sake. And then just walk out, then come back. So let's go. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got our boy B-Mac on the show late night. Early morning, however you describe it. B-Mac, good morning.
Hey, Paul Green. Good morning to y'all. Yeah, man. It feels so good that the Jets got a W, man. Maybe the Jets should start playing on Thursday nights from now on.
Aaron Rodgers joked about it in the post game on the Prime Desk. The Jets are 2-0 in Thursday night football games. They're 1-6 in all other games. So there might be something to it. I'd like to make a pitch to the NFL that the Jets play on Thursday night football for every week moving forward. That would be terrific. So I don't know if they're going to accept that, but yeah, that'd be great. And man, awesome, because it's funny that their last win was Thursday night football. I was at that game, and sort of poetic that maybe to start this run that it happens on Thursday night again, and there's some commonalities, there's some juice, there's some whatever, and that can hopefully, like I said, kind of spark things.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not gonna lie. I came in this game with zero expectations.
Sure.
I picked the Texans to win this game. because just like the Jets demoralized, Viking losing streak, brutal loss against the Patriots. Texans, even though they had the better, they were lose, they lost their top 2 wide receivers. I still think they have more of the coaching edge over the Jets, and I might not be a mismatch. But yeah, man, that second half was ugly. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be another one, another one of those Jets nights. And then Corley, dude, like that was like when he did that, man, that was like that was the most Jet thing that can happen.
What a fucking moron. Excuse my Guatemala, but what a fucking moron. Like, come on, man. You idiot.
Yeah, man. I was like, dude, I get it. You're happy. It's your first touchdown, but just hang on just hold on to the ball, man.
For another half second.
I'm sorry, but
yeah, I just want to say that it's funny that he was almost bailed out, because if the ball just stays in the end zone, because no one touched it. If it just would have stuck right there, somehow the fumble, so no one touched it, so the ball would have gone back to where he fumbled it, which would have been at the freaking 1-inch line. So he almost got bailed out. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad he didn't, ultimately, because the Jets win. And also so he learns his lesson. I think if the ball rolls out, I don't think he learns his lesson as hard. When it hits you, and not only do we not get the touchdown you should have gotten, the points come off the board and Texans get the ball, and they don't get the ball at the 1. They get the ball at the friggin' 20-yard line. They get a touchback. So I really hope this hits Malachi Corley. He's a young man. I know a lot of people in the middle of the game were calling for him to get cut. He's not getting cut. He's on a rookie contract. He should probably get benched and have some discipline from that perspective and get kind of chewed out in the team meetings and stuff. But this is a young man that hopefully he's only 22 years old. Hopefully he learns from this. But what a stupid ass, dumb ass. I would, again, if I was the coach and we're in there, I am fucking ripping him a new asshole. I am just like, what the fuck? Dude, come on, man. Unacceptable. It's just, but again, I'm glad that we're talking about this with the win.
Once he made that mistake, I was like, yeah, the Jets are going to lose. Like, there's no way the Jets can bounce back from this. Because when things happen, especially this year for the Jets, it's just like,
That's true. I can't deny it. It's true. Yeah.
And then the second half, I was not good in that first half.
No, he was got off
a little bit
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, a lot of people was calling for Tyrod Taylor. I was even thinking to myself, can Tyrod Taylor won't hurt? Maybe he can give because again, he looked immobile and he was afraid to get hit. He made some accurate, some very inaccurate passes, terrible inaccurate passes. Again, that one drop, Devontae dropped one before the half. But
perfect pass from Aaron Rodgers right in the breadbasket.
But then that second half, maybe he took that cayenne pepper and water in that second half. Yeah, something like and
drink up, baby. It's going to be the most popular drink of all time. I love it. Let's go. It felt to me like
that second half he was just cooking.
That's true. Have you ever seen Space Jam? Like MJ's special stuff, secret stuff. That's Aaron Rodgers. He had that at halftime. He went, boys, here, and he's passed around the cayenne pepper around the room, and everyone's like, and then they were like, and then great, phenomenal. I'm glad it worked.
Man. So, but that second half, he came out and he was spectacular, man. Like he was a totally different guy in the second half. The offense got going. They made the adjustments. Credit to Ty Downing, and in that second half, they moved the ball downfield. Garrett Wilson, man,
he's that dude.
Like amazing. Like that catch for that touchdown, man. Like I thought they wasn't gonna rule a touchdown. So I was like, they might not rule a touchdown. And then once they did, I got so hyped. It's like that was like that.
The first one was crazy too. It did look like Michael Jordan. I said it out loud.
Man. And then
sick.
And then Devontae, came back and then that Rodgers and Tay connection. It's kind of like the Green Bay Packer days, man.
Awesome.
Within two, I was like, are we watching the Green Bay Packers again? So
worked for me.
It
was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I do think now, as far as this do for the season,
sure.
Do you think this is one of the wins? Like, all right, or do you think this is one of the wins that maybe they can turn it around and make a big run?
Ultimately the proof is in the pudding. I'm really hyped up right now. So as far as I'm concerned, the Jets going 11-6, baby. They're not losing another game. We're going. But I'm a hyped up emotional guy. I mean, we have to see it. Something Aaron Rodgers said earlier this season is one of the challenges for the Jets is handling success. He said that after the Jets beat the Patriots, they lost 5 in a row. So apparently they did not handle success very well. So again, the proof will be in the pudding for success. Arizona is a feisty team. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. Some weeks are really good. Some weeks are really bad. But Kyler Murray is the one I'm going to be honest, I'm very concerned with because the Jets are undisciplined bastards from a pass rush perspective. They had 8 sacks, and it was awesome. But they were so wild, and C.J. Stroud had wide open rushing lanes. Jacoby Brissett, Drake May had wide open rushing lanes, so they need to really rein that shit in, or else a guy like Kyler, a guy like there's other guys in the schedule that are escaping me, but like Kyler's the most notable one in my brain. We're facing him next. Like he will kill you. He's had 50, 40 plus yard rushing touchdowns this year. He will absolutely destroy you if you fuck around from that nature. So they absolutely have to clean that shit up. So yes, I believe they're going to now go on a run, but shoot, on the other side, they got to handle their business. P's and Q's.
Kyler Murray, yeah, man, that Arizona game, Kyler Murray scares the heck out of me, man. And we saw it today. The defense had problems containing CJ Stroud. Stroud used his legs, and he was still making plays and running for first downs. And that game, man, I think I got glimmer of hope that we can win. But again, man, like in Arizona, it's a tough place to play, and Kyler Murray. He's the guy that scares the heck out of me because his mobility and he's a dual threat. And then the one thing I would say before, CJ Stroud, payback is a B, right? Because you remember all the offseason talk.
Matthew Stafford. No, okay, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, and then he talked about Eli Manning. You always take the rings. I would take the rings. You know what I mean? And, well, if Matt Stafford was in Green Bay, he would have 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Like,
shut up, CJ Stroud.
And by the way, and this is a fun stat.
Okay.
CJ Stroud lost to the Texans the Jets beating CJ Stroud the last 2 years at like one with Zach Wilson and one with Aaron Rodgers. So
beautiful.
Can we say, and CJ Stroud is 0-2 against the Texans. So can we say the Jets own CJ Stroud?
We can say that. We could also say this, boy, if Zach Wilson was in Houston, what would he be doing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not really.
I don't know. Maybe. To be honest with you, I say right now, I would take Zach Wilson over CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud to me is over. Well, actually, no, I'm joking. No. But I do think CJ Stroud, though. I mean, look, CJ Stroud is a very, great quarterback. He's going to be very great in this league. But I do think he's overhyped a lot, man. I think last year that he put himself in the top 5, and he said, "Well, I'll put myself at 2." And like, dude, you can't be doing that when you're when you have one good year. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Be crowning yourself like that, but
definitely not. And B-Mac, appreciate the call. Can't be crowning yourself. Although, we'll see what the Jets do. By the way, someone asked how many sacks do we give up? Only 2 in this game. So shout out to that shoddy makeshift offensive line. They did a wonderful job for the most part. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got our boy Phenom here on the program.
Hey, what's up, boy Green? Unbelievable tonight. CJ Stroud is a very mobile quarterback. And like you said, Kyler Murray will rip us apart because he's like more of a running back type. I mean, he's faster, dangerous, wants to run with the ball. So the Jets are lacking. Jets run right up the middle, run in general. So we have, it was a nice win tonight. Unbelievable catch by Garrett Wilson. Unbelievable. The Jack King that was like a Leon Wet kind of play. Because when I saw it, like no one even blocked it, hit the ball out of his hand. He dropped it. I mean, run into the end zone on your first touchdown in the NFL. Break the plane, run through the end zone, do a Bo Jackson, but don't drop the ball before you get to end zone. What is that? Nobody teaches that.
No.
I mean, so like I said, happy to get the win tonight. But this team has a lot to be desired. I mean, the run defense is atrocious.
Yeah, the Jets offense was scoreless in the first half. They had a bunch of issues, obviously. Joe Mixon, you gave up 100. So all in all, you had in the Shroud stuff. JJ Taylor was a guy who mixed in there. They gave up 187 yards rushing and 5.2 per clip. That's disgusting. The Jets
that's atrocious. Yeah, I can run for 3 yards a pop. So, and you could probably run for 4. So, I mean, and this is not what we expected. This is not what we expected from this defense. But this defense has been atrocious against the run all year long. But I think it has a lot to do with the design of the defense. I mean, it seems like they're giving them free reign right over the center. If the center can get to the linebackers or to the second level, they're just blowing people right off the. I mean, they just allow people to run right through the core of their defense, the heart of their defense. So that was frustrating. But again, happy to see the win. But we really did like Malachi Corley, man. He's a lucky man because he would have really been the GOAT. People were calling for his neck in the arena. I mean, get him out of there. He's gonna get cut. It was bad. It was bad. Because it was such a great setup too. When was the last time we see the Jets run a reverse? You know what I mean? So,
and untouched. So it was blocked perfectly. It was called perfectly. It was executed perfectly. Malachi Corley was untouched. He had a personal security protection, a security detail to the end zone with 12 blockers in front of him, 100%.
Right. I mean, that was supposed to be the gift touchdown. You were supposed to run into the end zone and do your little dance or whatever. Come on, man. Give me a break. But again, he got away with it because we won the game tonight. But down the road, you might not get that break because we would have been cursing. Well, we probably would have been cursing him. And, for what? For what? To show off for that second? Now you don't even have your first NFL touchdown. Now you're still on. Me and you have just as many touchdowns as Malachi Corley. That's something else, man. That's something else. But great hearing you tonight, man. We missed you in the house tonight. Jake had the boys in the house, so it was a good event. And thanks for taking my call.
Of course, Phenom. Anytime, brother. And I wish I was with all you boys, the Asmaniacs who are out there. I hope you guys all had a wonderful time. I'm sure you did throughout that wild, wild game. There's no question about it. Yeah, and to be honest, I look up at this headline video right now, reacting to the Jets' season-saving win versus Texans, which I absolutely believe, by the way. The Jets lose this game. They drop to 2-7. They are selling pieces at the trade deadline. The energy, the vibe, losing 6 in a row. Oh, God. I mean, it all collapses. But if the Jets would have lost this game, reacting to Jets, whatever, blowing opportunity versus Texans, and then the next line is not Garrett Wilson, welcome to superstardom. It is Malachi Corley, welcome to the unemployment line. I mean, that's the kind of harsh, visceral reaction we would have had. Again, I'm still super pissed at Malachi because that is just unacceptable garbage, straight up trash. To do something like that to cost your team. And I'm sure the young man feels terrible about it, but feeling terrible isn't enough. Like awful, 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 awful. Thankfully, the Jets win. So hopefully it's a very, very hard lesson learned without us having the result. Again, I'm happy that he didn't get bailed out because if the ball never rolls into the end zone. The ball comes back to the 1 yard line. Jets probably punch it in anyway, although that's not always guaranteed, as we've seen this season. And then Corley would have had that different rationale to it. So I think it's very important that he had the punishment of that, and we'll see what else comes of it. Jeff Ulbrich after the game saying, completely unacceptable, and you owe us one. We'll see if he could give us one before. We're going to go back to the phone lines in a second, but I saw you, Vern here. Boy Green, the sell the team chance down 7-0 needs to be addressed. Kind of vibe is that for our guys? Yeah, there were several times that the sell the team chance went over the television broadcast that were coming up. I think it's less about the 7-0, even though the Jets offense continuing to, like, the defense was playing elite. They gave up all the rushing yards, so maybe elite's not the right word, but the Jets defense was playing awesome for a lot of it with pass rush and all these other things. And they kept giving the ball back to the Jets offense, and the Jets offense was doing bupkis with it. So I think that's part of it. Like, we're like, damn, just when one part of the team plays complementary football to the other side, and the other side doesn't pick it up. I think a lot of people were kind of pissed off about that. And no, I don't really blame a lot of people for the emotions of anything that they had, because the Jets were in the middle of a 5-game losing streak. So you buy your ticket, you're allowed to have those emotions, and it's up to the Jets to fight through it. And boy, did they. Let's go to the phone lines. We've got our boy Gary here on the show. What's up, Gary? Michael Clemens, Mr. Two-Sack King himself.
Mr. Two-Sack, and he saved the day and possibly the season. Michael Clemens.
Pretty good.
I'm going to talk to the Michael Clemens Sucks podcast tomorrow about that.
Yeah. Please do. Yeah.
Me and you have been his defenders, and I was just so happy for him to get both those sacks, especially that last one, which kind of
that last one where he chased him down 200.
Yeah.
1,000%. Kicked him back on the field goal. Yeah, absolutely. All of it. 100%. He killed it.
Hey, ease up on my boy Malachi. Take it easy on him.
Come on, man.
I understand. He'll never do it again. It was the dumbest thing you could possibly do. I wouldn't say a word to him. He already sees his teammates. He knows he let everyone down. He knows what he did. It's like when someone gets caught not running to first base, and then they drop the pop up and they throw him out. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
You can't give him the Saleh, though, because that's what Saleh said. When people fuck up and they come to the sideline, he says, they know they already fucked up. What we're going to try to do is help them correct it for the future. To me, again, and I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. I never played at the collegiate level. I obviously didn't play at the NFL level.
You did?
Not that love is a very weird word to use for this, but I really appreciated when my coaches and fellow players fucking gave me shit if I blew things. And I have. I fumbled the punt return once. I got the ball lost in the lights. I couldn't see it. Doinks right off my shoulder pads. The other team recovers it, and I'm to the sideline. I'm like, fuck, I so fucked that up. I fucked that up bad. My players came over to me, what the fuck? And they're pushing me around, and the coach grabbed my face mask and said, way to fuck that up, buddy. So, like, I've had all that when I fucked up before. To me, it just made me feel worse, but in a good way of, like, I can never fucking do that again. I just feel like you have to hold them accountable. And thankfully, the Jets won the game because, again, Phenom just said it earlier in his call. The headline of this video would have included some Malachi Corley shit if we would have lost, which would have been painful. I would have hated that for that young man. He's only 22, for God's sakes, but oh my, how fucking dumb. What the fuck are we Deshaun fucking Jackson ass doing? Come on, man. Jesus.
I know. I had a coach, a boxing coach, that told me, Gary, don't get stuck on A, right? You're going to go through the book of mistakes, right? You're going to go through the entire book of mistakes. Don't get stuck on A. You're going to make more mistakes. Just don't repeat this mistake, right? You're going to go through the whole alphabet of mistakes. Just don't repeat this one. And that's what I would see. He knows what he did. He knows what he did is completely unacceptable. It's not like he had a miscommunication. He did something incredibly stupid. He'll never do it again. I promise you.
God, I hope not.
He will never do that again. Unless you think he's an idiot. Like, if he's an idiot, then he may do it again. But if you think he's reasonably intelligent, and you drafted him, so I'm sure you sat down, you interviewed him, you talked to him, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you think he's reasonably intelligent. He ain't gonna do that ever again. He'll make
sure. And how brutal too, right? Like, the kid is cryogenically frozen on the bench all season. Okay, he finally gets an opportunity this past game because Alan Lazard at the time was just out, and now he's on IR, so he's out for many games. So, like, shit, okay, opportunity open for Malachi Corley, and his first fucking play, they're like, here we go, fucking Corley. This play is only designed for you, buddy. No one else. Untouched, perfectly called, everything. I feel I can't even imagine being him and have all that set up for you. It's your play. This isn't like a slant route that anyone could have run. This was in the playbook for Malachi Corley. So I feel bad for the young man because, man, that I imagine that has him even fucked up right now, even with them winning, is fucking probably eating away at him. And if they would have lost, I mean, he would have been, fucking buried on the depth chart forever. So this, at least, I think he's still going to have, with Lazard out for the foreseeable future with his injury, like, Corley's going to have a lot of other chances. And I really hope that he just doesn't let this eat away. It's a constant reminder, to your point, of that he never fucking does it again, but, like, that it helps him in some way. Because, yeah, he's a really talented kid. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch him much at Western Kentucky, but you go through, you watch his highlight reel, his mixtape is insane. It's like, I want to see this guy on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a crowded receiver core. They got a bunch of guys who kind of do the same thing. It was good to see him on the field, and then he did that, and you know, it's inexcusable. Don't even try to, as long as he doesn't try to excuse it, right? Like I always say, after any failure. What every man needs to do after every failure is admit that it was 100% his fault and 0% everyone else's fault. As long as he owns it and says that was 100% on me, I'm with Salah.
Okay.
He knows what he did. I don't need to berate him like a third grader. He knows what he did. Right?
Gary, are you on Twitter?
I am.
Okay. Do you know what Malachi Corley's last tweet was before this game?
I don't.
Well, it's unfortunate because it's picking up a lot of steam now about aging. This is something he tweeted. This was on October 29th, so it's not right before the game, but it's just his latest post.
This tweet, okay.
This is his latest post. Even if I was cleaning dishes or mopping floors, I'd make sure I was the best at it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, have been in the comment section saying, because in the middle of the game, they said, you're about to find out tomorrow because you're going to be benched. You're going to be cleaning dishes for the rest of your life. Just don't drop the plate next time, buddy boy. And they went off. They went off on the young man. So if I'm Malachi, I'm probably staying off Twitter for a little bit. But that was his last tweet. So that's not aging quite well with how everything's going on. They said, I wish you were better at catching the football. So you're not dropping it. Yeah, there's a lot of hoopla in there. So he should probably stay off social media. But again, I'm glad that we won because I don't think I could have helped myself if we lost. And there's that 7 points hanging out there and they lose by any denomination that's 7 or fewer. And then the season's over. Oh God. I mean, that would have been a lot. So it's good that we won, thankfully. And I'm sure at some other point, if we're being honest, Gary, we're going to need him. We have not seen him on the return game yet. So hopefully that bastard gets an opportunity because I'm sick of Xavier Gibson fair catching every gosh darn football on this side of the planet Earth, which we haven't talked about yet for good reason because we've been talking about all this other cool stuff. But like Corley's got to get a chance in the return game and then he's going to have another chance at wide receiver. It's going to happen eventually.
And like to that point, it's like, look, he has never scored a touchdown in his whole NFL career. Why don't you get in the end zone? Hand the ball
Corley.
To the ref. Yeah, Corley. I remember the Mets used to have this guy. I was a catcher. He's like 5'6". His name was Paul LaDuca, right?
Okay.
And he hit like 3 home runs a year. And every time he hit one, he'd flip his bat like Manny Ramirez. Like, bro, you don't know what it feels like to hit a home run. So just run as fast as you can until the ball leaves the ballpark, and then you can try. Right? Don't flip your bat like you do this 40 times a year. Corley's never scored a touchdown. Run into the end zone, hand the ball to the referee like Curtis Martin, and be done with it. If you're scoring 10 touchdowns a season, then you can celebrate, and then you can put. But until we do this on a regular basis, let's keep this. Yeah,
and maybe it's easy for me to do this 2020 hindsight thing, but after it happened, I just start going through my own head, and I'm like, if it was me, and I was hoping to score my first touchdown. And then, like, I ran it through you pass the plane, you score. I'd be, like, in disbelief, looking down at the football, like, oh, my God, I just scored. Like, a touchdown just happened. Like, that he's so, like, whoa, fuck the football, yeah. It's just fucking crazy. How the fuck did
it's unbelievable.
I
would have took the ball to one knee in the end zone, made sure the referee was doing this, probably hugged the referee and be like, I did it. I scored a touchdown in the NFL. Like, how many people who've ever played football in their whole life can ever say that they scored a touchdown in the NFL? I'm now one of them. Like, thank you, Jesus. Instead, he does that.
And now he does it. And now
he doesn't have a touchdown.
Now he should have had his first touchdown ever of his life, and now he doesn't. And again, because if they would have lost, I don't know the next time we would have saw Corley on the field. But now that they won and then this lesson can be learned with a win, I'm sure he's going to get other ops. And then eventually, I'm sure the Jets will try to force feed him a touchdown in a simple way, like a jet sweep or something. So he gets in and says, okay, here, we've checked it off the bucket list. Okay, you handed that to the ref that time? Okay, good. Because Aaron Rodgers gave him a couple of jabs.
I would now freeze him out of the end zone if I could.
Okay. I guess not just give him, see, it's earned, not given. We're not just going to, that's a good point. That's probably better.
When the KD and Kyrie were on the Nets, they had a guy, Bruce Brown. And Bruce Brown was two rebounds away from a triple-double. And they were blowing out whoever they were playing. They were blowing him out. And he said, can I get back in the game so I can get a triple-double? Nets let him back in. KD's like, you want a triple-double? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, you're not going to get it. Right? Act like a professional, right? Like, we're blowing him out by 30.
Stop fucking around. Yeah, right.
So that's that's how I would punish Corley. I'm not going to get him an easy touchdown. Look, if he's a good player, which we expect him to be,
he should find his way in on his own, not force feeding it to him. That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
but oh my God, but again, you can't make this shit up. That the Jets have gone through all this bullshit over the last couple of weeks, again, of doinked field goals and, we scored a touchdown. Just kidding. There's a penalty, all the crazy ass shit. And to actually have a touchdown, it's there. You're in the open prairie. And for that to happen, I was, again, talking to myself. No one was watching the game with me. I'm just like, you can't fucking make this up. I just kept muttering that to myself. There's no fucking way. That did not just happen. And here we are. So wild.
I was watching that and I said, it's a touchdown. Right? He crossed. They barely, but he crosses the end zone there. And I saw the replay. My wife goes, no, he didn't. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They can't overturn that. My wife's like, no, he definitely didn't cross the goal line. I'm like, no. And then they have the freeze frame. I'm like, right.
Yeah, right. I'm like, is there another angle? There's no way. He held it on for just a second.
Where you see the nose of the ball, they can't, and then they do have that angle. And you're like,
that looks fucking bad. That doesn't. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh my God.
But we finally got some breaks, right? The ball hit off the crossbar and went in, and then they missed theirs. It's finally getting some breaks, right? This is our moment.
Because that's supposed to happen in football. It's an oblong shaped fucking football. It's supposed to bounce both ways. Okay, the Jets are unlucky. Okay. But they can't be unlucky forever. Eventually, the other team's got to, and that's why on the, I didn't think it was a touchdown anyway. The Tyler Conklin, catch to transition to fumble touchdown. I'm like, at first, immediately, I'm like, there's no way he did the football move of tucking the ball away when he caught it. So I said, there's no way. But that was a perfect example because I'm like, if that was a catch, of course, he just fucking, and then it just goes right to the Texans for a defensive touchdown. So it's just great and great. And yes, shout out Jet Life is talking about it. Shout out to Riley Patterson. God bless America. He made all 3 extra points. He doinked one in, but hey, it still counts. He made them. Blessed be he. And finally, we have a kicker, for God's sakes. We'll see on the field goals, but yeah.
When that went off his foot, it looked like it was shanked to me. And I just remember telling the other guys, if you're going to get a kicker off waiver wire right now, there's probably I'm not saying bring Greg back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the kicker you bring off the waiver wire at this point is probably on the waiver wire. He's probably unemployed for a reason.
For a reason, of course.
And when he shanked that, I'm like, this isn't going to get any better. We're going to lose the game if I miss extra point again. And we went in. And okay. Football gods are on our side today.
100%. Thank God. Which, again, hopefully that's good vibes. Hopefully, this is just the honest truth. Hopefully we don't need the football gods, because if you need the football gods, this is a 50-50 game. We say it in MMA all the time, and I'm sure it transitions to boxing. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. You fuck around by not doing your business in the rounds to get a submission or a TKO or this, that, or the other, where you can handle your business. The 3, 4, 5, depending on your everything, your rounds are there. You can finish the fight if you want to. If you don't, well, it's in the hands of the judge. You're leaving it in the hands of the gods, so to speak, to see if you could get the ball to bounce your way. But if the Jets do their shit and they have this talent and they live up to it, then we don't need to rely on the football gods. But it's nice to know that if we have to, every once in a while, okay, it swings both ways. The pendulum. That's very nice.
I say the same thing to all my fighters. We push for the knockout. We try to get every knockout. You can't knock every opponent out, right? It's not going to happen. Of course. Some guys just aren't going anywhere. But you don't let up the gas. You bring the fight to them, and you try to get them out. You don't play with your food, right? A, because a hurt fighter is a dangerous fighter, so you don't just leave them out there. And B, exactly what we said. Do you want to leave this in the hands of the judges? We can just end this right now. Just end it. So no, I agree with that. And it's just we need to take today. Everything went well. If Corley doesn't do that, this is kind of a blowout, right? Like I mean, we won by 2 scores. If Corley doesn't do that, we outplayed him.
Yeah.
What was CJ's stat line? Like 11 for 30?
Oh, I have them all in front of me. So here he is.
It
was. You nailed it. It was 11 for 30. So essentially, it's just a hair above it, but a 33% completion percentage. He had 191 passing yards. And to be honest, even some of the numbers at the end are obviously a little padded because the Jets are playing a little bit of a prevent defense at the end once they have the 2-score lead. So he had 191, which is not good. But he ended up padding it a little bit on that final drive, too. And obviously, he was sacked 8 times. So, yeah, the Jets gave him the business. Again, where they struggled was the run game, and that's where they struggled all year. Joe Mixon ran all over him. Actually, most of his yards, by the way, were in the first half. He had like 90 plus or 100 plus. It was one of those two in the first half, which means the second half he must have been held to somewhere in the ballpark 10 to 15 yards. So obviously the run defense stood up the second half. That probably speaks a little bit to their usage too. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, you're right. The Jets should have fucking doubled them up, and they were not having, to your point, these crazy ass conversations that we did. So
this is a good week. You know, I don't know. It's still a very long shot for us to make the playoffs.
No doubt.
It's one more week where we don't have to talk about Shorter Sanders or Quinn Ewers or who we want to draft. We can talk about football. We don't have to do mock drafts. And
I was a little worried.
Cam Ward or whoever else. Like we can. Yeah. The season's not over. All right. You got at least one more week of relevancy. So let's just enjoy that. And well, actually 10 more days, right? 10 more days.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Because of the mini bye. Yes, absolutely. But it just feels good because, to be honest, it felt like it was trending in that direction. For the first time, I listened to the draft podcast with Connor Rogers and Trevor. I had not listened to it all year because I didn't give a shit. I don't fucking care about the draft. I care about the Jets winning and playoffs and all this other jazz. So for the first time this week, I went, they had to fix the Jets episode for 90 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'll fucking listen to it. I'm listening to it like, oh, here's a mock draft. I'm like, fuck, I haven't even looked at a mock draft all year. Okay. And I'm like, God, this sucks. I don't want to be doing this before Halloween. What the fuck are we doing here? And then the win today, I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, put that shit away. Put it back in the cabinet. I'm not ready yet. I'm never going to be ready.
Yeah. I know is coming now is we're going to finish 9-8, lose the last week of the season and miss out on the playoffs. I'm not trying to be that guy.
No, but you're right. And then we're all going to turn around and say, Denver, Buffalo, this, Patriots, all these fucking games that were, again, the football gods were hanging in the balance. And we had a murder kicker. If the Jets would have been a little bit more trigger happy on switching the kicker, even just one more win could make this dramatic difference. Again, if the Jets win out, they're 11-6. I think 11 wins is definitely making the playoffs. I think 10 is definitely making it. 9, I was in some debates earlier with people. 9, I think you're in a lot of trouble because you fucked up all these head-to-heads with like Pittsburgh and Denver. Like, that just that makes me incredibly nervous. 10 wins, I'm not nervous at all. I think in any circumstance they make it.
Get in,
9.
So, we can still lose one more. We can lose
for sure. Yeah, that's another way to put it. Sure, right. That you have a little bit of wiggle room. For the Jets, I hope they do play with that attitude that basically Rodgers said after the game that he was like, oh, fuck, our season's on the line here. I hope that's how they play the rest of the year and just not even think about it. But, you know, they have no margin for error or very little to your point of maybe 1 because I think 10 wins definitely get you in. But, like, now it's go time and hopefully something sparked. Hopefully something with the team. They saw it and the juices from tonight. Hopefully that could carry forward, man.
The only thing I'm very concerned about is Braylon Allen. Like, you look at his last 5 games, it's 26 carries for 66 yards.
Ooh, yeah.
And there's not even like one game. He's got the 1 touchdown, but that, you know, it's just like it's 5 carries for 13 yards, 3 carries for 8 yards, 2 carries for 4 yards, 12 carries for 30 yards, 4 carries for 9 yards. It's like none of this is. Yeah,
and with him spiking down, Brees has terrifically popped. Outside of Pittsburgh was the one game rushing wise he wasn't as sharp, but all the other games he was incredibly sharp running. The Pittsburgh game he was incredible as a receiver, so he has completely flipped it, which has been great. But to your point, I'd love to see them both because I'd still like to go back to that week 2 pony package where we're using Braylon and Brees together. It seems like a shame to not utilize and maximize their services and powers together, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the Todd Downing stuff because that's kind of, I don't know if that's exactly, I'll have to go back to see when exactly Downing took over, but that sort of seems to align with Braylon Allen fucking falling off a cliff and Downing taking over. I think are very close two together for when that happened, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know what it could have been play calling wise, or just Braylon himself having a slump of some sort. But yeah, Braylon's can be an effective piece, but he hasn't really gelled with everything that we have right now.
And he's 20. He's a baby. Like
Young buck.
He could be a sophomore, or I guess a junior in college. Like he's super
Right.
young. So I mean, look, he's going to be here for a while. I would imagine he's going to get more chances. He's going to grow. He's just 20. Does he even have his man strength? Like think about when you were at 27 compared to how much stronger you were at 27 than you were at 20, right? And
of course,
I know he's freakishly big, but like he's not even a man yet. He's still a boy.
Right.
He's just 20.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got upside. I wouldn't give up on him, but these last few weeks is like there's been
god awful.
Yeah.
Zero, zip and pip, negative, quite frankly, in a lot of these situations where you thought they were favorable, kind of like, oh, okay, this is a Braylon Allen kind of situation, and negative, not driving the feed. There's all kinds of things like, oh shit, what the fuck happened to Braylon? So yeah, it's been a little odd, but yeah, but to me that should be exciting that this Jets offense that scored all their points in the second half. You're like, cool, they're finding this new level, and they haven't even figured out how Braylon fits into this yet. To me, that's optimistic of like, oh shit, we're here, we could be here. Oh shit, we're here, we could be here. I think that should be encouraging moving forward, that the Jets have more meat on the bone, so to speak, for sure.
Last thing I want to say is I was taking my kids trick-or-treating, and I got a little 10-year-old daughter. She taps me on the shoulder. She goes, Daddy, there was a kid dressed up as Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, probably 12 years old, dressed up as Aaron Rodgers for Halloween. I said, are you a Jets fan? He said, no, I'm just an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm like, good enough. I like this kid. And that was a good omen to me. I knew something was going to go right this day. I don't want to point out there was a kid dressed up like Aaron Rodgers for Halloween.
That's awesome.
Like, all right, let's go.
All right, it's going to be a good vibe for tonight. That's great. And apparently it was. So shout out to that random kid. Thanks, pal.
Right.
Appreciate
you, Paul. Great job.
Thanks for calling in, Gary. I appreciate you, man. And a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. We appreciate you, Travis, joining us. Booyah, baby. We are 77 members away from Phil getting his emoji. So, guys, if you'd like to join the Boy Green Coffee Club, you could do so in the YouTube description down below. Feel free to do so. You guys can always gift a membership if you'd like. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a little money sign as you're watching. We are over an hour here on this post-game show reacting to the Jets fucking winning a game, for the love of God. Oh, God. Getting a win in the month of October. It didn't look like that was going to happen. So it's great. They held all the way out to the end, but they were able to do it. So blessed be he. Thank God. Again, because to Gary's point, I really don't want to be talking about draft. I love our draft people to come on, and all that's great, but I did not want any mock draft stuff. I don't want the season to be over. I love that we have Aaron Rodgers. It should be, I want everything else that's coming. Let's answer a couple of your questions or comments here. Yes, I am swearing a lot. Maybe that's after dark. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a sugar rush. I had some of my daughter's candy. That could also be a factor. Certainly possible. FL Phil 98. Let me see if I can find your comment, because I do want to bring it up. Let me see. Vern says, I need to see him kick some field goals before I'm sold. And that's totally cool for Riley Patterson. Yeah, he's got a 88% conversion rate on field goals. So his analytics I really like in terms of his history. But yes, we have not seen him kick field goals yet. So we don't really know from that perspective. Whoa, Mama Sita. Board Fat 31 with a 20-piece combination. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Let's get one of these in. Oh my gosh. Board Fat 31. My brother from another mother. Wow. Okay, awesome. Thank you for spreading the love, my friend. Let's welcome in all the new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Freddie McKnight, Dre Correa. Hey, Dre's in there. Let's go Jerry Moore, Lawrence Yance, Oscar the Grouch, 50_NY17. Dalt, welcome back to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Mike Rubino, David D, AD Pugnut, Big Green. Oh, welcome back. Wild Wave, Infrared Jets, welcome back. Green Truth Dave, Mr. Juan Soto. Hey, you go to the Mets. We'll see you later. Slim, Gary Pape, D Van G, Donna Leaney. You are back, baby. Okay. Here we friggin' go, baby. Let's update the banner. We are now 57 members away from Phil, who is a loyal member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. We appreciate you. There we go, 57 members away. Thank you, BoardFat31. That is incredibly grateful. Thank you. Wait a second. Connor Long getting involved here on the show. Okay, Connor, here we go, baby. Who else is going to do this at 1:35 in the morning? Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, let's update the banner once again, baby. We're now 52 members away from Phil. I love it. It is a membership overload as we're celebrating a New York Jets victory. Connor Long, NY Flight Jets Talk, baby. Okay, 5 new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. That is Donna Wallace, Howie from Jets HQ, John D. Lee, Ron Weiss, and Kyle Smith. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Yes. Yes, sir. Connor. Board Fat, welcome. Oh my goodness, Travis getting involved. Holy cannoli with a 10-piece. Good night. Okay. It's Rand and Aaron Rodgers touchdown passes. We got 3 of those tonight. Good Lord have mercy. Oh yeah, baby. Let's go. All right, let's update the banner. We're now 42 members away, baby. You love to see it. And let's welcome the 10 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Travis here. Thank you, buddy. Here we go. We are rolling. Scott Collins, Seth Martinez, Zero Rocks Games, Jets Fan for Life, Christopher Thibodeau, SDA Jets, RB Gamer, Tim O, okay, a.k.a. Tim from Fishland, Darnell Towns, you guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And if any of you missed out on all the wonderful gifting of memberships, follow my instructions in the YouTube description down below. I see you, Matthias, saying that you missed out. Make sure that you have gift memberships turned on. Actually, if you click any of these people that gifted memberships, Travis, Connor, or Board Fat, you guys can actually click that, and it says, hey, do you want to turn on gifted channel memberships? And how it works from the YouTube overlords is the more you interact with the shows, commenting, interacting, all those things, the higher you are up on the list of gifting channel memberships, which is random, but it's random to the people that are most active on the channel. So excellent, excellent, excellent. But let me go to FL Phil 98 real quick. Guys, that is awesome. Thank you so much for a 35 rush of memberships. That is terrific. But FL Phil 98, will Ted, Easy, and others still want to trade Garrett Wilson tomorrow? And I want to talk about this, and I'm glad you brought this up, FL Phil 98. I was really perturbed by the conversations this week about the potential fire sale for the Jets for the trades. I understood the rental players, if you flip them, if the Jets season was over and you were going to lose them for nothing. Those made sense to me. Trading the pillars of this organization never made sense to me. And trading them in the middle of the season for just, if we could just get a first-round pick. Sauce is a really good player. Now, he's had some struggles. His tackling today wasn't great. I'm going to be honest. It was nice to see that pass deflection late in the game when they threw it to Cade Stover. I'm like, okay, there's a little sauce action. That's nice. Garrett obviously was friggin' awesome in this game. Brees was really good in this game. But specifically to Garrett, there's been so much noise about Garrett Wilson not being a big receiver. That's something that Ted brought up on the show, and I think it's ridiculous. Garrett Wilson is 6 foot flat, but I brought up some of the highest paid wide receivers in football, and Justin Jefferson's and these guys. There's a lot of 6'1" guys. There's, of course, the big boys. Marvin Harrison Jr. is massive. The Jets are going to get an up close and personal look at him here in, week 10 against him. So they're going to see him. But, guys, Garrett Wilson is a special player. And I challenged him early this season and said, hey, Garrett, big-time players make big-time plays. And he had a boneheaded mistake in the Pittsburgh game that cost the Jets dearly and really kind of flipped momentum completely in that game. Also, Aaron Rodgers had that questionable interception at the end of the first half as well. But Garrett Wilson is a superstar. He's someone I want to pay. Now, with performances like this and him entering superstardom, that's going to change the price the Jets are going to have to pay sooner rather than later. But he is 1,000% a guy that we drafted developed and hopefully continue to develop and maintain. I want Garrett Wilson to be a Jet for life. I want Sauce Gardner to be a Jet for life. I want Breece Hall to be a Jet for life. Shoot, I want Jermaine Johnson to be a Jet for life. Is all that going to be possible? Let's see and find out as things go. But anyone who's saying trade Garrett Wilson, all these other things, which, by the way, those were real conversations, by the way. If you guys are just joining us, we have nearly 500 people in the room right now. That was 1,000% a real conversation that happened on this show, and I thought it was absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sending it all in. That is great. All right, we got Jetted Out. Every time I get a YouTube super chat here on the show, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Lynn.
Wow.
Jetted Out with a great Garrett Wilson jersey avatar. Time to sit back Sunday and do some AFC East hating. And, I understand the team is probably not going to get a lot of time to savor this. They probably get 36 hours, and then they're going to start working on the Cardinals. But us as fans get to savor this shit for the next couple of days, and I love it on a football Sunday, especially now that we're going to start going, playoffs or who we're rooting for and things of that nature, and see if we can root for the right teams to lose and those sorts of things to put it together, Jetted Out. So hell yeah, baby, we're back. And I love the super chat. Thank you. And guys, if you'd like to call into the show, feel free to do so. It's a pinned comment on YouTube, youtube.com/boygreen25. If you'd like to call in and share your thoughts on this game, I'm so fired up from both Halloween and all that jazz. And, the game tonight and Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Hassan Reddick, there were some good moments, some bad moments. Again, he was a little reckless with some of the pass rush lane opportunities, but Hassan's only going to keep getting better, which I'm excited about. Quinnen Williams, what a friggin' game. I mean, he just exploded on the scene. And Quinnen Williams had a couple of good games over the last couple of weeks, but this one he just exploded. Had the 2 sacks in the first quarter. We'll have to see how the stats are officially designated a little bit later, but it seemed like he had 2 straight-up sacks plus more, but ESPN only had him for a sack and a half, so we'll have to double-check some of those numbers as well. Oh, yeah, I never brought this back up. We are 42 members away, baby. And that might be off with the other 10 that we got, but, doing the math in the middle of the show. I'll have to catch up on that later. But we are 42 members away, baby, from good old Phil getting his emoji. And guys, Jared B's not on with us right now, but I'll make sure I put it in the YouTube community chat. For everyone that just joined the Boy Green Coffee Club, here are all the perks that you get for that. So shout out to everyone that gifted so far. You have access to our Discord channel where we talk Jets well beyond. I'm live every single day at 7:30 in the morning, so I hope you guys can tune in for Boy Green Daily. And we also do these night shows and afternoon shows. We had DJ Bieneme of ESPN on earlier, so we have great guests, we have phone calls, and all the jazz. So I hope you guys get to really enjoy it. But you also get access to our Discord where we do our full conversations. It's a social media app that you guys can just download. It's super cool. It's a private community of Jet fans, all part of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which is a lot of fun. So I hope you guys can join that. That is, I will put that link again in our YouTube community after I get off live here on the show, baby. So it's going to be great. So I'll make sure I put that in so you guys can join that as well. If you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you have access to the Discord channel. You must be an active member. So a lot of you guys obviously just received free Boy Green Coffee Club membership. So people that bought it spent money, but the people that received it get it for free for a month. And at the end of the month, they ask if you'd like to keep it. It's $2.99 a month, and it makes a tremendous difference and allows you to support the show. Like I said, you get access to the Discord channel, and of course, you help support the program. So appreciate it. I'll be dropping that in the YouTube community chat after the show stops going live. Vern, Reddick is our boy, opening it up for everyone else. He absolutely is. And I think they're all feeding into each other, man. Absolutely. So you have Will McDonald, who continues to go off. It sounds like a couple of guys got banged up, so hopefully it's not nothing too serious, especially the offensive line stuff. Like the Jets gutted it out in the middle of this game with John Simpson getting hurt, and ABT's obviously still banged up. It's good news that ABT was not placed on IR, so hopefully that means he can return this following week against the Cardinals, because if he was hurt more seriously, you'd think he would have been placed on IR. So the fact that he wasn't should be encouraging. So hopefully ABT is back sooner rather than later. Jake Hansen got hurt and everybody else. So getting healthy. Hopefully that's what this mini bye can do. But Hassan Reddick is only going to continue to get better as he gets more game reps and opportunities, which is going to be awesome. And I think that opens it up for everyone else. Matthias says, I'm already rewatching the game right now. I can't wait to rewatch a game too. And we'll have time over the next couple of days to do that as well. Doug Williams, how is that a catch? Knee out of bounds. Shin. A leg is not a singular piece like a pen. It's not like it's like I'm touching this green thing. It's completely in. A leg has pieces to it. And the shin went boop, boop. And that hit first. It went shin. So he had the foot, obviously the foot drag. And then his leg went boop. And the shin is a different part of the leg. So shin in, it counts. As people were talking about, Tony Gonzalez called it one of the greatest catches of all time. And holy shin. The shin is part of the leg. If you have a shin, you're in. Forearm, shin, knee, ass cheek. There's a lot of other body parts that count. If it's just feet, you need 2 feet. Doot-doot. Toe drag swag. Doot-doot. But certain other body parts count as their own. Again, knees, shin, ass cheek, elbow, forearm. There's a couple other ones. Doug Williams says it shouldn't be knee, shin. Well, it is. That's the rules. But yes. That is 100% in, so it counts. And they flipped it. So that's even more impressive. That it wasn't called on the field and they said, call stands. They flipped the call. The call was originally no catch, and they switched it the other way. So that's right. Matthias, shin, you're in. That's it. Booyah. Just like that, baby. So it 100% counts. Garrett Wilson, again, it's the title of the video, and it's true. Welcome to Superstardom, my friend. Welcome to freaking Superstardom. I think just like Odell Beckham Jr. went viral and became this superstar wide receiver, I think Garrett has always had the talent, but that on a national stage in a national game like that on Halloween and everything, Garrett Wilson's about to take off like a rocket ship. And for good reason, they got a lot of talent in that room. So going to be a lot of good opportunities for him. And then with Devontae going off, now, again, it was on paper where you had Garrett and Devontae, all those guys are good, but to see him produce, Devontae created so much separation in his one-on-ones with the Texans corners to have that 50-yard touchdown, 30-yard touchdown, 40-yard touchdown, whatever it was for Devontae. Like, oh, shit, he could still do it. Oh, shit, Garrett's pretty good. And now defenses have to do that. I love that from FL Phil. By the hair of my shinny shin chin. Vern. Greatest catch ever or two? Well, I mean, if you're a history buff, obviously you could go with the Lynn Swann catch. That would be up there. OBJ's catch is ridiculous. Garrett Wilson's catch. I think the week one Jets-Bills catch is still wild. How was he able to ricochet the ball to himself and bring it in? But this one, when you think of how he was able to get his feet in, body in, put that in. The Michael Jordan pose to one-hand it, bring it. I mean, unbelievable. Another really great catch. This was a DB. Antonio Cromartie's San Diego Chargers Colts play where he kind of whoop and brings it in. That one's pretty good too. JETS, Gerald, appreciate you. Jets are lucky. Texans were hurt. Oh, Jesus. Doug, I don't know what kind of fan you are, but the Jets had 4 offensive tackles playing on the offensive line. You have 5 linemen. 2 of them played out of position. Olu Fashioner's never played guard in his life. Who's the other guy? Max Mitchell has played offensive tackle and right guard. They're like, hey, can you play left guard? I guess. The Jets were bleeping hurt. So Texans were hurt. Stop with the excuses. Short week, this, that, or that. Come on, man. What are we talking about, Doug? Come on, Dougie. Come on. Jets are lucky. Come on. The Jets beat the Texans' ass. Speaking of lucky, the freaking Malachi Corley doing something stupid. That's lucky. That should have been a touchdown. The Jets are win this game 28-13. If we want to talk about luck and stupid shit, it's Malachi Corley dumping the ball behind him like an idiot. So, and we were hurt. So, come on, stop it. Matthias said that catch live was amazing. Well, awesome. I'm glad that any of you who saw it live, awesome. Good for you. I wish I could have been at that Jets-Texans game. I wish I could have. The Jets-Patriots one was awesome, but, man, to have that game like that, the Jets blew the barn doors off the Patriots, and it felt good. It felt like, again, I describe it as an exorcism, a ritual release. The Patriots have been bullying us for so many years, so it just felt great to, unload on them. But this game, to have it the back and forth, the craziness of it, and all the wildness, yeah, I mean, that must have been awesome. Absolutely. So that's cool. Vern says, Doug thinks only Texans have injuries. Apparently. That just seems ridiculous. But, hey, different strokes, I guess. Can't make everyone a believer. I'm just so I can't believe it all happened. The Jets winning the game and the coming out party for so many wonderful players. That was awesome. And again, I want to give another major shout out. Board Fat for 20 Boy Green memberships. Kind of Long 5 memberships. Travis 10 more memberships. Thank you so much. So giving. And then it helps us celebrate this Jets win even more. So again, guys, I'll give you guys one more plug. If you'd like to join the Boy Green Coffee Club, it helps me do what I do. The more you guys invest in the show, the more I can invest in the show. And I love freaking doing this every single day with Boy Green Daily and the post-game shows and Boy Green Meets Woody, which every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 o'clock, and Boy Green Daily is every day at 7:30. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's in the YouTube description down below. It's in every video, the YouTube description. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club by clicking here. Boop, only $2.99 a month. Or like all these wonderful people did, you guys can gift memberships. Hit the little money sign on YouTube, and you can gift as many memberships as you like. 1, 3, 5, 10, 25, 50. A 50 spot, perhaps, which would be great. That would be great. But as many or as little as you guys want means the world. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. It's about to be 2 a.m, so I'm actually going to get off and then take a quick nap. And then we'll be back for Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning, which I can't wait for. It's going to be awesome. It feels good to have a positive week, Vern. I'm going to be honest. I can't wait. We're going to have DKB back on the show for all our DKB lovers. My Pop's going to be on the show. Hop on Pop. That one should be an interesting one over the weekend. And we don't have a guest for tomorrow/this morning. It'll just be me and you, the fans, baby. But I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of other stuff to unpack from the press conferences and everything else. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Celebrate a Jets win. Hopefully you guys all had a safe and very happy Halloween. It was great to take my daughter out for trick-or-treating right before the Jets game. So awesome stuff. Let's savor this win, and I will see you guys in a couple of hours. Again, live, Boy Green Daily, every day at 7:30. Go Jets, and I think an appropriate place to end is Hep singing the Boy Green Daily song of watching the Jets Super Bowl season with Boy Green. There's still hope yet.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets.